I was at the infamous rally that was discussed at the Royal Commission yesterday, and I want to make a few comments. Firstly, the atmosphere at that event was one of visceral anti-Zionist Jew hatred. I wandered around in my clerical shirt, visibly a Christian, and the hatred and the complete lack of any sense of empathy with Israelis and others who'd been massacred less than 48 hours before was stark. There was no sense of mourning or grief or even acknowledgement of the extraordinary evil that had just happened. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is I was warned by the station commander of Sydney Station when I phoned the police beforehand and I said I wanted to come to the city and organize a counter-protest. He told me that the Jews were being warned to stay out of the city today. And he told me that if I came in, he couldn't guarantee my safety. And if I came in and did anything, they would arrest me. So I'm willing to testify under oath to that. I've repeated that claim right from the day that it happened. So that is fact. The third thing is, once I raised the flag of Israel on the steps of the Anglican Cathedral as an Anglican clergyman in my clerical dress, I was chased out of the square by a bunch of young men wrapped in keffiyehs threatening to slit my throat, running after me, making this gesture. I ended up hiding behind a police van. What struck me was that event had all the hallmarks of a pogrom. Before it all started, I stood next to the organizers and the police officer in charge while they planned the march down to the Opera House. The police knew and the police agreed to let them march there before it all started. This was an appalling failure of policing, an appalling misjudgment. Finally, what I'd say is, as I reflected on the Royal Commission, is that David Ossip did a fantastic job. The Commissioner, Virginia Bell, should never have allowed the cross-examination by an anti-Zionist lawyer to try and somehow delegitimize David's concerns and our community's concerns and outrage at that event, to try and shift the focus from the visceral anti-Zionist, anti-Jewish, anti-Australian hatred that was on clear display to the whole world, to shift the focus from that to, oh, well, actually, this was because the IDF planes had actually already started bombing, scrabbling over some minute detail to justify pure hatred. I mean, I'm glad all of Australia has seen the heart of this movement. This is not about supporting the poor Palestinians in Gaza. This is just about delegitimizing the state of Israel, demonizing Jewish people in Australia. And there is a straight line, in my opinion, from those events of October the 9th, 23, to the massacre of Jewish people, Jewish Australians, on Bondi Beach on December the 14th, 2025. We have to unite to see this hate movement for what it is, to stand up against it and say this kind of hatred propagated by certain segments of our population, either for religious or political reasons, has no place in this country. Well done, David Ossip. Shame on you, the Australian Palestinian Action Network, and your host of supporting organizations and your lawyers. And Virginia Bell, you can and you must do better for the Jewish people and for the sake of social cohesion in Australia.